Audrey had always known she wasn't like everybody else. Her dad said she danced her to the beat of her own drum. Her mom said she always liked to do unexpected. Even her dog, Ernie. Her dog, Ernie, said meow. Even Audrey's dog liked to stand out from the crowd. Audrey didn't mind being different from other kids. She believed it was important to think for herself. But not everyone appreciated her unique style. Sometimes Audrey felt lonely. Still, she didn't let anything get her down for long. Audrey knew how to make the best of any situation. When her teacher told the class that they would be putting on a play, Audrey was excited about starring the show. Okay, not starring, but appearing. Despite her disappointment, Audrey vowed to be the most unique tree ever. But her teacher had other ideas. On the night of the performance, as Audrey stood waiting for the curtains to go up, she started getting a bad feeling. Before long, Audrey could see that the play wasn't going well. Milton forgot his lines. Amira was hiding behind a prop, and Trish was having a clumsy moment. Audrey knew that it was up to her to save the show, and there wasn't a minute to lose. Yellow brick, road. I don't remember any of that from rehearsal, said Audrey's teacher. I improvised a bit, said Audrey. You were supposed to be playing a treat, said her teacher. I decided to branch out and really blossom, said Audrey. Audrey's teacher might not have appreciated her performance at first, but her classmates sure did. Audrey. I like your blue apple, Audrey. After that night, Audrey had to work a bit hard to be different. But somehow she managed. Her name was Audrey. Audrey, after all. Rufus's best friend, Winston Churchill, is a busy man, but most days Rufus and Winston share a walk. When it's time for Winston to work, Rufus' ears twitches as he listens to the Prime Minister favorite fountain purr scratching furiously. Winston rejects his blunders and blotchers, and sheets of paper flutter to each floor like pigeons and landing in the park. Rufus sniffs each page. Most of these woolly fairies are mere padding, which can be left altogether or replaced. August 1940. When Rufus gets restless, Winston leans back in his chair and tells him about the day's event. World War II has recently begun, so there's a lot to say. England, their home, is one of the many countries at war. Rufus settles down at Winston's feet. The whole of the warring nations are engaged. Not only soldiers, but the entire population, men, women, and children. The fronts are everywhere. The trenches are dug in the towns and streets. August 1940. The roads to victory may not be so long as we expected, but we have no rights to upon this. Be it long, rough, or smooth. We mean to reach our journey's end. August 1940. Every day, they visit Winston's secret office, hidden beneath the buildings of London. Messages chatter through typewriters and candy-colored phones rattle and ring. New arrived from all corners of the globe. Rufus explores the nooks and crannies of the bunker, inspecting the kitchen and tiny bedroom set aside for people who live and work there. Clementine, Winston's wife, visits often, holding her husband's hand and kissing his cheek for good luck. She knows that Winston despises the underground bunker and prefers to be outside even though there are no thick concrete walls to keep him safe. Rufus jumped into Clement's lap, begging him for treats, bragging for treats. From the deep pockets of her coat. She rubs behind his ears until he falls asleep. This is the room from which I will direct the world. War. Sierra 1940. One afternoon, Winston gathers his paper and he and Rufus hurries to the House of Commons. A sea of people settled onto the green velvet benches, waiting for news about the war. Winston, his shoulders set like 10 shears. Bulldogs waddles to the front of the hall and begins to speak. Rufus looks on attentively, his tail drumming against the seat back. Almost a year has passed since the war began, and it is natural for us, I think, to pause on our journey at this milestone and survey the dark, wide field. August 1940. Back in the bunker, Winston paces from room to room, Rufus trailing behind. Outside, a siren rails and bombs blast. A helmet rests snugly on Winston's head, the strap buckled tightly between his chin. Rufus clutches Winston's bowler hat between his teeth. Their home is under attack. The city smells of fire. We shall not fail or falter. We shall not weaken or tire. Neither the sudden shock of battle, nor the long-drawn trails of vigilance and extern will year us down. February 1941. When the smoke lifts in the morning, Winston pulls off his helmet and reaches for his cane. Eager to be outside, Rufus barks and runs quickly to the door. He and Winston inspect the city. Buildings have collapsed and burnt in night. Bricks and glass cover the road, and German forces has been destroyed much of London. Winston clenches his jaw tight as a bulldog. I confess to you that my heart bled for London and the Londoners. July 1941. It's soon time for Winston to meet with his allies. Franklin Roosevelt from America and Joseph Stalin from Russia. Together they are planning D-Day, a great invention, Normandy, France, that they will hope will lead to the end of the war. While Winston is gone, Rufus sits by the door and carefully guards the bunker. He waits and waits. We three must remain friends in order to ensure happy homes in all countries. November 1943. When Winston returns he continues to work doggedly with his advisors and allies to make sure the invasion plans are perfect. When his eyes are tired from planning and plotting, Winston relies on Rufus to keep his spirits up. And what a plan! This vast operation is undoubtedly the most completed and difficult that has ever occurred. June 1944. And involves tides, wind, waves, visibility, both from the air and the sea standpoint, and the combined employment of land, air, and sea forces. June 1944. In June, there is hushed excitement as troops storm across the beach of Normandy. Rufus stays very still as Winston holds him and points out on the game map where the soldiers are marching through foamy waters, crossing the mountains and beaches, and liberating cities and towns that have been captured by the Germans. Soon, London no longer chafes from the impact of bombs. The invasion of Normandy has been a success. England and its allies have stopped the German forces. The war is ending, and Winston returns to his office in Parliament, where thousands of cheering people line the streets. Winston stands by the window and shouts, "This is your victory! The people were back. No, it is yours." Rufus barks and howls as all of the London sings, sways, and whoops with happiness. You have been attacked by a monstrous enemy, but you never flinched or wavered. London, like a great rhinoceros, a great hippopotamus, saying, "Let them do their worst. London can take it. London could take anything." May 1945. Rufus and Winston share more walks together. Walls that have crumbled from blasts and fire are rebuilt, and the streets are swept clean. London will never be the same as it was, but it experiences a new beginning. One day, his bags packed and his office cleared out. Winston bundles into his long, woolly coat, puts on his top hat, and calls Rufus. Winston switches off the little lamp and, with a click, and softly shuts the door behind him. Winston no longer needed in a bunker. It's time for a new beginning for him and Rufus. Let us go forward together, August 1945. Outside, Winston lifts Rufus into a rickety black car. They ramble away from the busy streets. Rufus barks hello to everyone he sees. They stop outside a large house where Clement greets them. She pulls them into a great hug and lets Rufus lick her cheek. Rufus and the man known as the British Bulldog sniff the sweet, fresh air together. They rest in the country at last. 2 war dogs. The Churchill and Poodles. During his lifetime, Winston Churchill owned 2 brown miniature poodles. He named both Rufus I, the Rufus in this book, with brownish red, and responded to the nickname Paprika. One of the Churchill's bodyguards in 1946 testified to having heard the Prime Minister call for it. "Come, Paprika, let us go forward Let us go forward together on more than one occasion." In 1947, after the death of Rufus I in an automobile accident, Churchill was asked if he would like a new breed of dog. He declined, asking instead for another brown miniature poodle. Rufus I became the Prime Minister's loving companion and after WWII. At the Chacours, his country house, Churchill is recalled to have a covered Rufus. Its eyes while watching an unpleasant scene in Oliver Twist, saying, "Don't look now, dear. I'll tell you about it afterwards." Emma Stone, Churchill's granddaughter, remembered Churchill and his canine friend at the Chartwell estate and family home. If Grandpa was not at the goldfish fish pond, we would have found him there on the lawn, gazing for hours at the rolling view. We would sit near him and hold his paw, while avoiding his rather old and frictious. Churchill loved for animals and extended beyond his affection for dogs. During his lifetime, he had many cats that were beloved and constant companions, and he also enjoyed the company of parakeets and chickens. The man himself, Sir Winston Leonard Churchill, 1874-1965, a politician, artist, orator, and author, is best known for his accomplishments as British Prime Minister during World World War II. Before his time in office, he served in the British Army, including briefly during World War I and acted as the chief of correspondent for the morning during the Boer War. Serving as Prime Minister twice, 1940-45 and 1951-55, Churchill raised national moral throughout the United Kingdom via his radio addresses to the public. He was an excellent orator, and his radio speeches proved vital in rallying the British people and creating a unified war effort. Churchill was also responsible for creating and nurturing a friendship between the United Kingdom, the United States, and the Soviet Union, a friendship that led to virtual war. Effort support. Possessing a large-than-life personality and a brash attitude, the Prime Minister strongly believed in the destiny of the British people and his place with them. He is well known for his excellent sense of humor and quick wit, and is one of the most quoted figures in history. The titles of this book refers to Churchill's long-standing association with the English Bulldog, a stubborn champion of his people. He was often called the British Bulldog. Churchill's wife, Clementine, however, nicknamed him Pug. Many people mistakenly believe that Churchill owned a bulldog. During his lifetime, he was in fact a loving poodle owner. Little did you think when you awoke this morning that you would meet a man called Winston with Churchill and enjoy the best meal of your life? Circa, 1943. The end. It's a Hot Wheels sign, which is so cool. So these are the cars right over here that I already showed you guys. I like the Christmas times for